Concord is in bad shape ahead of its release. Now, the first question will probably be, what is Concord? If that is what you are thinking, then you are not alone. PlayStation Studios and Firewalk are currently developing this title. It is designed to be a live service experience rivaling Overwatch. Concord has been in open beta since the 12th of July and will officially release on the 23rd of August. Unfortunately for PlayStation, this title will most likely be dead on arrival. The reason for that is a bit more complicated than you might think. There are two factors to take into consideration: DEI and live service. Right now, both these terms are considered boogeymen in the gaming industry. So, let's start off with numbers. The current all-time peak for this title is 2,388. Their 24-hour peak is 1666, and they are currently trending at below 1,000 players per day. These numbers are as bad as they can get. Overwatch is peaking at over 50,000 players per day. Destiny 2 is currently seeing 80,000 players per day. The point is that Concord is in serious trouble. Their numbers are way too low for the game to make any profit. While it is always possible to steer the ship right, there needs to be a baseline of players to do that. Games like Destiny also launched to a complete disaster. However, hundreds of thousands of people were still playing, which is how the sequel happened. In fact, the success of Destiny 2 likely sparked other live service games to release sequels. Concord has no baseline to work with, and thus, it will likely have a short lifespan. This brings me to the main issue, in my opinion. People are currently tired of live service games. That does not mean that people do not want to play them. This means that no interesting live service games are being released. No studio is trying to do something different. Most are just trying to get a piece of the current pie instead of making their own. Everyone saw the success of titles like Fortnite, GTA Online, Destiny, and Overwatch. There is a reason those games are popular. At the time of their release, at least one thing stood out. Since then, everyone tried to copy that success. The truth is most of these live service games fail, so no studio wants to take risks anymore. They would rather play it safe. The result is that no one will play Concord if they can play one of the other more popular live service games that are exactly like it. The truth is that gaming has become too expensive, and the expectation for profit is too high. Publishers are no longer satisfied selling 10 million units and making $500 million. They need to milk you after the sale of the game and make billions every year. Every new release needs to make FIFA money, or studios will be upset. There will always be room for the big blockbusters that take 10 years to develop. However, there is room for smaller titles that may take 3 years and sell only 5 million copies. The problem is that publishers only serve investors and want $10 billion per year for live service games. There, of course, is another issue that people are pointing to. Most believe that the game is riddled with DEI characters. Honestly, I went over all 16 characters they have, and the design is horrible. And before people try to say anything, it is not because they have a diverse cast. You can call me what you want, but people do not want to play with fat, ugly characters. If they had 16 extremely hot girls, this game would have been 10 times more popular. That is just the truth. Maybe you think that is problematic, which is your right to think. However, it does not change the fact that people want to play with characters they want to be or be with. Everyone knows that pretty girls and hot guys sell more units. Trying to deny this will not get you anywhere. Based on these designs, it is clear that someone went out of their way to make everyone unappealing. You can push back and say they do not care if animated video game characters are doable. That is a fair question to ask, but the answer is that lots of people do. I do not know why. I know that we all are drawn to visually pleasing designs. That is human nature, and it will not change anytime soon. You can ignore this fact and pat yourself on the back for your sexless gross designs, but don't be surprised if no one wants to play your shit.